Like and subscribe right now, or you're gonna have terrible luck for the next week.
From a drunk driver at sea to a massive ship almost scoring a touchdown, here are 10 of the biggest ship collisions and mistakes caught on camera. Number 10. Under the influence. Driving while under the influence of alcohol is never a good thing. And as evidenced by this first incident, the same goes for sailing as well. A Russian cargo ship that was leaving Busan, South Korea smashed into a major highway bridge in the city, damaging the vessel and tearing a hole into the bridge. The ship's captain was drunk at the time of the incident. Do you want to know how drunk the ship captain was? Check this map out. The orange line shows what the route of the ship should have been. But the captain was so drunk, the ship made a hard left, eventually colliding with the bridge. I'm not a sailor or an expert in sea travel, but should there be other officers on board the ship? You know, the kind that could have steered the ship if the captain was unable to? Just my thoughts. Number 9. Opera crash. The MSC Opera is a huge ship. It had 13 decks and is capable of carrying 2,675 passengers. That's why when it crashed into a small tourist boat and a dock in Venice, injuring 5 tourists, it's no wonder that it created so much chaos. According to the ship's captain, the Opera had engine failure, which he immediately reported. The engine was blocked, but with its thrust on, it continued to gain speed. 2 tugboats were on the scene to help guide the massive ship to the dock, but even then, the Opera was still hard to control. Video posted to social media showed passengers escaping from the tourist boat and running down the dock as the cruise ship rapidly approached. Number 8. Crashing into a mansion. The phrase, "Can I crash in your place?" took on a very different meaning when a massive tanker crashed into an historic mansion on the shores of Istanbul's Bosphorus Strait after its steering equipment locked up. Towboats and Coast Guard vessels were sent to the area, and the Maltese flag tanker Vita Spirit was pulled back from the crash site to be brought to shore. Fortunately, there were no casualties in the collision. This footage shows extensive damage to the historic seaside mansion located under the second Bosphorus Bridge near Anatolian Fortress in Istanbul's Asian side. The building's roof and upper floors collapsed, and the video showed the basement slumping into the water. Number 7. Bullied by a bigger ship. Seems like the Bosphorus Strait is a common sight for maritime accidents. This time, there were no expensive mansion involved, but rather a small Coast Guard ship that was railroaded by a massive bulk carrier, the Tolone, which unfortunately led to a fatality. The Coast Guard vessel capsized and sank. As a result, one of the crew died, 3 went missing, and 6 people were rescued and transported to the local hospital. The victim was trapped in the capsized boat and was later found during the search and rescue operations by divers. Later, the missing Coast Guard crew members were also recovered with heavy injuries and hospitalized. The cargo ship was detained after the accident while investigation was being done as to the cause of the collision. Number 6. The Not So Stellar Banner. On February 24th, 2020, the 340-meter-long bulk ore carrier Stellar Banner ran aground in the Atlantic Ocean just off the coast of Maranhão, Brazil. The 4-year-old ore carrier had departed from the Vale Terminal Ponta de Madeira in São Luís, Brazil, loaded with iron ore bound for Changdao, China. The massive ship only traveled a short distance when the vessel developed a sharp list to starboard. That's the right side of the ship for all of you land lovers out there. An inspection by the crew found the ore carrier had hull cracks where water was able to seep into the cargo holds. Tugboats rushed onto the scene, but as the list increased, the ship's captain decided to run the Stellar Banner aground to prevent the ship from sinking. All 20 of the ship's crew were evacuated safely after the ship ran aground on a sandbar around 100 kilometers offshore. Fortunately, no one was injured during the incident. Number 5. Both captains' fault. In 2018, the container ship CSL Virginia collided with the ferry Ulysses near Corsica. At the time of the accident, CSL Virginia was anchored north of Cap Corse, northern Corsica Peninsula, when it was struck by Ulysses, which was heading from Genoa, Italy to Tunis in Tunisia. The container ship sustained a hull breach several meters long, with the ferry having damages to its bow. Later investigations revealed that the cause of the accident was human error, and both parties were partly at fault. Specifically, the captain of the Ulysses was talking on his phone and wasn't paying attention to the ship's radar. The CSL Virginia, on the other hand, had anchored in an inadequate area, and it was the first time a ship had anchored in this location. According to estimations, the two ships sustained damages of at least 13.5 million euros. Moreover, the crash caused an oil spill, and the operation of cleaning coastal waters was estimated at 10 million euros. If there are two things that you should learn from this accident, those should be never use your phone while driving and don't park illegally. Number 4. The Not So Super Yacht. Yogi was a 60-meter Turkish-built super yacht. Completed in 2011, the yacht had serene interiors, accommodations of a world-class resort, and the technological sophistication of a modern vessel. Think of a cross between a 5-star luxury hotel and a luxury resort but on water. However, in 2012, when the $39 million ship was barely a year old, it sank into the Aegean Sea. In the morning of the disaster, she was sailing in wintry conditions from Turkey to France. She made a visit to Turkey for a warranty paint period and now was heading to Cannes. She cleared the Dardanelles Strait in the evening of February 16th and soldiered on despite the weather that took a turn for the worse. Nobody knows what really happened in that grim night. A mayday call was issued at 3:30 a.m. She sank at 8:45 in the morning of February 17th, just 19 nautical miles off the Greek island of Skiros. Fortunately, only crew members were on board that day. The 8 French members of the crew were picked up by helicopter. Number 3. Two carnivals collide. It's one thing to collide with a ship that's a complete stranger, but to collide with a sister ship, that would definitely need a lot of explaining. And that's definitely what the captains of the Carnival Glory and the Carnival Legend, both under Royal Caribbean Cruises, had to do. The two cruise ships collided in the port of Mexico's Caribbean resort of Cozumel, damaging both vessels and leaving passengers stunned at the loud impact. According to Carnival Cruise Line spokesman Vance Gullickson, Carnival Glory was trying to dock when it made contact with the smaller Carnival Legend, which was already docked. He referred to the crash as technically an elision, a nautical term meaning one of the objects was not moving when it was struck. It wasn't immediately clear how the accident happened. Experts said they expected investigators to look at several factors: what the mooring plan was for the Carnival Glory, what role wind and other weather might have played, whether the ship's engines had any issues that could have affected propulsion, and what was going on at the ship's controls. Several passengers on the Carnival ships and the nearby Oasis of the Seas, which the Glory appeared to veer uncomfortably close to, posted videos and photos of the incident and the aftermath.
Now it's time for today's best pick.
This particular photo is very suspect. For one, the ship's names are oddly blurred out, and they don't usually come that small. And judging by the angle of the photo, it could only have been taken from the air, from a drone maybe, or a low-flying chopper. In any case, I think this photo is faked. Number 2. Big Boy Collision. While passing the Strait of Singapore, the 57,000-ton Bex Halil was involved in a collision with a small bulk carrier which was suddenly veering across its course. The smaller ship was later identified as the Vietnamese-registered cargo vessel, the MV Thuan Mai. Video footage shows the smaller vessel veering to port and across the course of the Bex Halil, which was underway from Haldia to Navlaki at the time. The smaller cargo vessel was hit on the port side in the aft after it was unable to stop or alter course for the larger ship.
Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell, and you will get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it, it really works.
Number 1. Almost a touchdown. In April 2014, the 610-foot container ship Hansa Constitution veered off course in Hong Kong's busy East Lama shipping channel and ran straight into a football field at the University of Hong Kong. Luckily for us denizens of the internet, several of the thousands of residents lining the waterfront saw the accident unfolding and grabbed their cameras to record the event for internet posterity. As you can see, the crew did their best to stop the ship from hitting shore, or even try to lessen the impact, and they succeeded. The ship did hit ground but didn't reach the fence surrounding the field. The accident was blamed on a combination of power loss and wind, and the vessel spent only a short time aground before it was backed off the seawall and taken to a local anchorage for inspection. Have you had an accident out at sea? Let us know down in the comments, will you? Also make sure to hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. That way, you'll get notified every time we upload new and amazing content just like this. Again, thanks for watching and see you on the next video.